Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. In today's video, we have another BCBA related video since it is still March, and I promised that I was going to do a lot of more BCBA content for the month of March. So today's video, I'm going to be bringing back my favorite series of therapy essentials. I love this series because one of my favorite things is going to the stores and buying new and fun and reinforcers for my kids throughout the session. Though I'm a BCBA and I don't give direct anymore, I still like to bring a lot of my toys because I've accumulated so much throughout the years that I've been in the field of ABA, and I like to also model to my RBTs that you should go out and look for fun items to bring to the session so that the session is fun and not boring. Though a lot of my RBTs still struggle with that a little bit, I do lend a lot of my toys to my RBTs. Really, it's for the client. I want to make sure that the client is having a fun time. I want to make sure that they like their RBT. I want to make sure that they like me, and what better way than with toys? I feel like I'm healing some of my childhood with all the toys that I buy. Every time I'm at a store, I go to the toy section to see what's new, and I'm always thinking about my kids. So I think I have a pretty good amount of toys, and I have a pretty good idea of what makes a toy good. So let's get right into it. In my previous videos, I have shown, myself playing with the toys, but just to speed things up a little bit today, I won't be showing them, but I'll pop up some images like this. I'll pop up some images so that you can see which toy I'm talking about. So starting off strong, we have this toy. So these magnet tiles are so fun. A lot of my kids love magnet tiles. And this little car, it's battery operated. And so basically they are able to build a tract, or you're able to build the one that's in the pictures. And the kids have just so many opportunities to work on a variety of skills, including requesting, manding. So I want the blue tile, things like that. I want the car. Give me this, give me that, They also are able to work on color recognition. You're able to do intraverbals. Where do you see cars? In the street. The car says vroom vroom. So basically you have to think of fun and creative ways to keep the child engaged. Then you guys start, as you're building your track, you start talking about things that safety signs, community signs. What do you see in the community? The hospital, the pharmacy, different things. And you can always add, like, let's say you have, let's say one of your kids likes animals, so you incorporate like animals, maybe a little barn section, different things. Like, just, you have to be creative. So I really do like this toy for learning about the community, learning about colors, requesting. Like, there's just so much that you can do with all these toys I talk about, but this one is definitely one of my clients' favorites. Every time I bring this toy, they love it. This next toy is relatively new to me. I love learning toys. A lot of my kids they like more of the things that you can be creative with, but who said that you can't be creative with learning toys? So this one I actually found at Marshall's. And sometimes you will find learning resources at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, places like that. So always be on the hunt for good toy brands at those places because they are cheaper. And so this toy in particular, the way I like to do it is a scavenger hunt. So I hide these little pieces. Every little acorn brings a little piece. So let's say A, and I think it's like an acorn. B is like a bus or a ball, different things. And so you basically scatter. Of course, you're not going to scatter all 26 letters because then that's a lot, but scatter a few around the house. And then as they go around and finding it, they have to go and put it in their respective acorn, right? So this is just such a fun way to have the child, not be seated the whole session. We don't want a child who's 4, 5, 3, these young children to be in a chair all day. So why not make it fun? A scavenger hunt. You can even go the extra mile of printing out a sheet. They have to, and putting the pictures on there, and they have to check it off, all that stuff. That is already a skill that prepares them for the future, if they're ever shopping for a shopping list, anything like that. So definitely these are very, very cute, and the opportunities are endless. Even sometimes, working on open, close, like there's so much that you can work on with these little acorns. The next toy I want to talk about is this Pete the Cat cupcake game. So I really do like this board game for maybe 5-year-olds or older because it is very interactive. So basically it's a board game and it brings all those little cupcakes. You put the cupcakes in the box you put the cupcakes in the box, and then basically like you take turns spinning, and that's how many times you move. So I'm just taking a look at the pictures because I don't have the game in front of me. But basically, if you land on the ABCs, you have to state a letter and then something that starts with that letter. So let's say you think of A and you're like alligator, right? You can even, do some echoics, say chomp chomp, things like that. You can incorporate really so many things during this game. If it lands on the music note, like we talked about, you have to sing a song. So you can even do interverbals there. So twinkle, twinkle, little, learner says star, right? There is also a little gift. And so the gift, that one's acting out. So you grab from the pile, there's like little cards, and you put it, and you have to guess. The person has to guess what's on the card. So you're giving hints. Again, it's a little more complex for some learners. So sometimes I just have them tack the card and then they move up. If you do land on a frog, and every time that you do one of the thingies, you earn a cupcake. So a reinforcer, right? And so then if you land on the frog, it does take 2 cupcakes. Once you collect all the cupcakes, that's how you win the game. And then you guys can sing happy birthday to Pete the Cat. The last therapy essential that we're going to be talking about is this little tower. So I basically got this idea from this person. I follow them on TikTok and I really love their ideas for lots of toys. So this toy I did get from her and I bought it on Shein. I know Shein is not the best, I'm sorry, but it was super cheap. It was like $3, so I had to get it. On Amazon, it's like $17. Maybe the material's a little sturdier, so if you want to check that out, you can check it out. But I love this little tower. I don't know what it is. It's so fun. Like, it spins the whole time. This is more for my younger learners, so just keep an eye out for that, but like 3 to 5. And basically the way that they play is, they put the little gears on the big stick thing, and then you can work on a lot of things like down, up. You can work on colors as well. You can work on counting them. There's so many things. Again, opportunities are endless, but I will say my younger learners do gravitate towards that because like it just spins, and even I have a fun time. And we're talking about showing them appropriate ways to play with things, right? So definitely check that toy out because it's very cute. That was pretty much it for today's Therapy Essentials video. I hope you enjoyed all of these fun and interactive toys / games I included. And if you have any recommendations for any toys, please leave it in my comments. I love reading all your comments as always. So thank you so much for your support, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. Oh yeah, we had a change of scenery because my family is so loud. I can't even record a video in peace. So I had to come upstairs and rearrange my environment to be kind of okay. And that's why you don't hear anybody because I'm upstairs. Oh wait, I wanted to show you my henna. I got henna at the fair about a week ago, and look, it's fading though. It's fading, but I love the brown with the blue. Very cute. And whenever I watch my videos back, I want to see my henna. So okay, now bye.